All right, guys, let's check out this Par Weber. This is the coefficient. This has the Enduro-Lume, a very unique patent pending USA made product from the brand owner, John, in Chicago, Illinois. So this watch was actually sent to me via my buddy Calico Basin. And I think he picked it up from somebody else in our Discord group, and now it's going to somebody else. So here's some paperwork that came with it. Hopefully my videos, guys, I'm still working on adjusting the video, so let me know if this looks okay to you. But let's see, I just want to show you this paperwork. Pretty cool stuff. Quick setting information. And okay, covers that. Let's get into the watch. So measurements right out of the gate here. I'm looking at a 43 millimeter at the bezel. The case is only 42, and that is stainless steel with PVD coating. The lug to lug is 48. You can see drilled lugs. 14 millimeter thick from the bottom to the top of the sapphire crystal, flat. 20 millimeter lug widths, and 7.25 millimeter push-pull crown. It is not a screw-down crown. And 100 meter water resist because of that. So weighing in at 96 gram. Using, actually, if we look at the case back, it'll tell you everything you need to know. Let me wipe it clean real quick. Get some smudges off there. If we zoom in a little bit, you can see it's using the Swiss Ronda 715 movement that has 5 jewels. The Enduro-Lume trademark pending illumination system. And each of those also is listed which battery it takes. So it takes the 371 battery for the movement and a CR2025 long life battery for the always on light, which I'll show that towards the end. And I pulled the case back off so you can see what it looks like. Those large 2025 battery, there's just one of them, but pretty easy to change, and that should last longer than 3 years constant on. And there's all the info. Now, if we look at the front of this thing, you can see some interesting features going on there, including those paper-thin black hands. You can also see the second hand ticking away, hitting the marks, and all of the printing is done on like a translucent glass, done as like a, it's not really a sandwich dial, it's just a layered dial. And then you have the date cut out there at 3 o'clock with a white date disc. So super legible, always, day or night, which was one of the things that I guess John, he developed the Enduro-Lume system, which will be kind of fun to see in more watches. I'm sure he'll do more in the future because it's always on for like 3 to 4 years. It's just always on, and it works. So you can see the crown guards are a little offset to the crown, but it still works. And he pushed it up higher, which is better for not digging into your wrist, but it looks a little weird, but it works functionally just like everything on this watch does. You have a bi-directional 120 click bezel, and it's very sturdy once it's in its position. So, but it's easy to grip. I mean, will you knock it out of place? Yeah, you probably could, but it's going to take some movement on there. So depending on what your timing, how critical that is, you might want to take that into consideration. But overall, it's actually a very positive, solid feeling bezel. These have a list price. I'll put a link in the description to the website. The list price on them is only $5.99. So, are legit, I think for the package, for what you're getting, I think that's a very reasonable price for sure because it's so unique. All right, let me pop it on my wrist, my 7 1/4 inch wrist real quick. And then I'll show you the lume. And then, of course, stay tuned for the case back. Actually, I'll put the case back at the very end. So there it is on my 7 1/4 inch wrist. Like I said, super legible, easy to read, day or night. So John had developed this system because he was up at all hours in the night with his infant. And a lot of us can relate to that. And this watch is always, always on. So a little bit different than, say, like a tritium tube watch where your eyes have to adjust. This one's kind of the same way, but it just visibly, it seems a little more potent. And you don't have to worry about like the half-life or anything of tritium because that can get quite expensive when you have to go get those redone. This one, You just put a new battery in, you're good to go for another 4 years. So honestly, I would prefer this system over the tritium. I know the tritium requires no battery, but once it goes, like in 7 years, it's gone. Like it really starts to go. It's like half-life makes it so it's almost really not visible. And it's very expensive to replace all those. You can see this one just works brilliant. So I look forward to future models as well. And of course, this one's really cool. All right, thanks for watching.